My name is Arun Jagtiani, and I'm a proud St. Martin. In a few short weeks, our country is going to be heading to the polls to elect 15 new members to Parliament. There's 126 candidates from 9 different political parties that are contesting this election, and I think the entire voting population could benefit from knowing a little bit more about who these candidates are. Over the next few days, I'm going to interview a few new faces and a few political veterans. So join me, St. Martin, and let's talk politics. Thank you for joining us on another edition of Talking Politics with Arun. I'm joined today by the number 18 candidate on the National Alliance list. It is first time contesting an election, but certainly no stranger to the business economy of St. Martin. We're talking to Mr. Robert Budike. Thank you, Robert, for joining us today.
Thank you, Arun.
It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
So, your first time contesting election, what inspired you to get into this political arena now, at this time?
I was tired of the whole system. Every year you had a new government. In the past 6 years we had 5 governments, which affected my business directly. So I'm saying maybe I can do something to reverse that. What we need in St. Martin is a stable government for 4 years. And I believe that any led government have proven some stability in St. Martin. And I want to be part of that.
So, Mr. Budike, there's several new candidates, many faces new on this campaign trail, and several new political parties as well. So before joining the National Alliance, did you consider maybe joining one of the newer parties or maybe another? What led you to join the National Alliance is my question.
Nice question, Arun. I have made my analysis and I have 4 pillars that I measure each party with, which is good corporate governance, transparency, integrity, and human resource development.
The 4 pillars that you just referred to, I think the one that jumps out to me first is the human resource development.
Yes.
How important is that, and how much is that needed here in St. Martin?
Okay. Based on my research, I have seen that in St. Martin, 2% of our population has a master's degree, 20% bachelor's, and 60% have a secondary 1 level degree, which is not good for the development of the country.
Sure.
And I believe that we should invest more in education, and particularly tertiary education, like the USM.
Are we struggling a lot from brain drain, as it's referred to? Those statistics are staggering. I had no idea, actually, until you brought this to my attention, that so few of our population is working on a college or has that college education under their belt. And I know for many years we've always heard that a lot of our people get their education, they go abroad, and there's simply no opportunities now for them to come back to. How much do you think our country is suffering from that, and what would you, if given the opportunity to be in government, how would you try to change that?
If you look at the brain waste, I mean, we have brain drain.
Yes.
People don't come back or they live in the island.
Yes.
We also have brain waste. The people are here and not being used properly.
Yes.
You know?
Well said.
And you also have brain rotation, that the brain is going everywhere in the world to come back to St. Martin.
Yes.
So I think we have to mix it properly, that we maintain and retain the bright minds in St. Martin.
Yes.
And when elected, I would like to subsidize the USM USM is being subsidized for 500,000 guilders per year. It went up to 850 in 2010, I believe.
Okay.
It is now to 950, I believe, because I used to be the CFO of USM.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
And every month it was a struggle to meet payroll, pay your bills, and so on. And which is not good for the development of St. Martin. St. Martin have to get serious and really investing in human resources.
Yes. So we
locally, not to send them outside, but just locally.
I agree with that statement so much. And we have an international university, AUC, for example, American University of the Caribbean, which is based here in St. Martin. And we see students coming from abroad. They come here, they live here, they study here. And very few local students are enrolled in that university. What do you think is the potential for USM to grow perhaps to a level where at least they're attracting students regionally? Or is that something that perhaps it's too big for us to envision, and we should just focus on keeping it a small local type school.
The USM has partnered with the UVI
Okay.
last year,
Yes. Yes.
whereby the students can obtain the bachelor's degree in different sectors locally.
Yes.
So I believe that that cooperation is good. It should be expanded.
Yes.
But I think for the start, it is good.
Yes. And how important is it, do you think, for us to have a large percentage of our students going abroad for their experience and then coming back? Or do you think we should just focus on educating them locally?
The trend is not only locally. It is, they have something when they call studying in the region. So you can go and study in the region. You can go to Curacao, you can go to Aruba, you can go to the UV in Trinidad. Yes. Because the trend is that those students will come back to St. Martin.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
And I strongly believe to develop a knowledge-based society.
Yes.
Why I'm saying that, if you look at Venezuela, for instance,
yes.
we have the biggest oil reserves in the world. They can put food on the table for the people.
Can't even put food on the supermarket is
yes,
what I
yes.
understand.
But with brain development, the human being become both raw material and production unit. And brains of knowledge can be multiplied.
Yes.
I can do a text form
Yes.
1,000 times because I'm using my brains.
Yes.
It applies in the tax sector, but also in other sectors.
Talk to me about taxes real quick. We've heard so much that the compliance rate in St. Martin is so low. There's been a lot of rumors or suggestions that perhaps we need to move to indirect taxation. What is your thoughts on that?
You see, sometimes we are misinformed. St. Martin have indirect taxes already.
Yes.
We have the TUT.
Yes.
We have the excise tax, and we have the motor vehicle tax. Those are indirect taxes.
Okay.
We have to really watch out to follow people thoughts. We have to really analyze the situation and see what the impact is of the indirect taxes.
Sure.
Because, as Minister Gibson mentioned, the single mother with 2 children will go and shop in the same shop.
Yes.
In Afu that you and I can afford.
Yes.
And they not. So everything has to be balanced.
Okay.
Balanced in the sense that it should benefit the masses, not only a couple of families in St. Martin.
So the current tax code in St. Martin, the method in which people pay taxes, do you think it needs to be fixed, or rather we just need to focus on increasing compliance?
I think both.
Okay.
I believe that St. Martin, we pay too much taxes.
Yes.
That's one. If you look at the profit tax, it's 34.5% of your profit goes to the tax office.
Yes.
It's too much. In Curacao, it's less than 20%. The compliance rate is low because the tax office needs some serious upgrading.
Yes.
In automation, in human resources. In the past, you only had one inspector, Ms. Bass. I think now you have 5.
Sure.
All right. It's still not enough. The tax office is supposed to make treaties with other countries.
Yes.
To stimulate our economy.
Sure.
They ain't doing that. So there is still a lot of gain to achieve by improving the tax office, by improving the compliance rate.
Sure.
In St. Martin, we have also a huge informal sector. People that don't want to get no checks at all.
Yes.
They prefer to get paid in cash. But the same person make use of the roads that you and I pay for, make use of the garbage collection that you and I pay for,
sure.
and make use of the medical services that you and I pay
sure.
for. It is unfair. Everybody should pay the fair share in St. Martin. And when everybody do that, the tax rate can go down because the basis will expand.
I've seen that your campaign slogan is, "It can be done." And the first time I saw that, I said, what can be done? And interesting enough, shortly after that, I saw online a very entertaining and well put together video promoting some of your ideas and what you would like to do if elected. Can we cut to that video real quick so everyone can see what I'm talking about? Wow, that's quite an agenda that you have
Yes.
that you're looking to undertake.
Yes.
So many questions I would love to ask, but in the interest of time,
Yes.
you know, the first thing that really stuck out to me was the salt pond restoration.
Yes.
Are you suggesting we start producing salt again, or?
Yeah.
Very interesting. Tell me.
I spoke to some professionals, and it is possible to produce salt again in the salt pond. Okay, why I chose for that? St. Martin has about 52 historical sites, and the Great Salt Pond is one of them, but it's not being used properly. The cruise tourism of the cruise tourists goes to the French side to shop and go
Yes.
on the beach. The yield of the cruise tourists is very low. I want to improve that by keeping them in St. Martin on the Great Salt Pond, where you will have a great salt pond park, and you can go and do some shopping to experience our culture, our music and art, our cuisine,
Sure.
our literature. So we keep them first here to spend the first dollars, and then they can go to the French side.
Interesting. With
Yes.
very little time left, you had to come back to the Dutch side.
Yes, yes, because it's a one,
Okay.
it's a one-day trip.
Of course, yes,
Yeah.
of course. But speaking on tourism, another thing that I saw in that ad that you have running, and I love the creativity behind that as well. The production was very nice. But you mentioned as well in there about the conversion of cruise passengers to hotel guests.
Yeah.
I think that's something extremely important for the island, for the sustainability long time. But
Yeah.
how do you plan to accomplish this?
Okay, by creating the culture and historical sites in St. Martin. The spending power of the silver tourism is like 5,000 times more than the
Sure.
cruise tourism. They will
Sure.
come for a short time. They have all-inclusive cruise ships, so they're spending a lot of money in St. Martin. The silver tourism, they spend because they stay here for a week or 2 weeks. They will pay for the car rental, etc., etc.
Yes. Very interesting. And again, there's so many different topics we could go on and on.
Yes,
It's
yes.
been an absolute pleasure speaking with you. He is the number 18 candidate on the National Lion Slate, Mr. Robert Budike. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking with him. I wish you the best of luck come September 26th on
Thank you,
Election
Arun.
Day.
Thanks a
And
lot.
in closing, if you'd like to say a few words to the voters out there, please, the floor is yours.
My program is action-based, and it is also solution-based. Come out and vote for Robert Budike, number 18 on the NA list. Thank you.
Thanks again, Mr. Budike.
Okay.
Absolute pleasure.
All
Thank
right,
you.
Thank you a lot.